This is going to be rough. This is going to be very, very rough. I'm a huge dummy. I am a gigantic dummy. My laptop is completely broken. So there is not going to be any intro in this video. There's not going to be any editing in this video. I'm just going to run it straight through and hopefully not mess up a bunch because I can't cut it out because my laptop has completely died. It won't turn on at all. I have tried messing around with the power supply. It just won't come on. And it's unfortunate because the data that I had pulled for today's video and the data that I pulled for tomorrow's video is on that laptop. I didn't have it backed up. I didn't email it anywhere, so I can't access any of that. And I don't have a new computer with editing software yet. I hope to go get one of those at some point today, so that way tomorrow's video is going to be better. But I had so many hours poured into tomorrow's video. I had a really good video planned for you guys. Not that today is bad, but tomorrow is going to be really, really good. A lot of data that I put together in Excel, kind of carried it over to PowerPoint. It was going to be a great kind of presentation for you guys, and it all just fell apart. So hopefully I can at least get it turned on to email that over. If not, it's going to be a late night tonight trying to get everything pulled back together so that way I can record the video for you guys tomorrow, because it's going to be an absolute banger of a video. But I digress. What is going on, Fan Clan? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are all doing well. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Yesterday we gave away 12 Ultra Premium collections, 12 Charizard Ultra Premium collections. It was an absolute blast. Congrats again to the winners. If you didn't win, again, that's okay. We are marching towards 100,000 subscribers, and we're probably going to do a Silver Tempest giveaway prior to that 100K big celebration. But the 100,000 subscriber celebration is going to be absolutely massive. We are opening up 3 vintage booster boxes. I've got Stormfront, I've got Rising Rivals, and I've got Team Rocket. We're going to be opening up 100 of the 108 packs to kind of commemorate 100,000 subscribers. And we're going to give away every single pack, every hit that we pull. So every rare, holo rare, ultra rare, it's all going to be graded for free by CGC with a special insignia on the top, kind of commemorating the event. The remaining 8 packs I'll probably send off to channel members, things like that. It's going to be an absolute blast. So if you didn't win the Charizard UPC, the bigger giveaway is still coming. Like I said, we'll do something for Silver Tempest pretty soon here. Silver Tempest pre-releases start next week. It's going to be a great set. So this weekend, right? This weekend? Yeah, it's crazy how quickly this set is coming out. We just had Lost Origin. Anyways, we're going to talk about waifus today. Specifically, we're going to talk about full art supporters because they are very, very interesting cards to kind of keep track of. And there's a lot of terms that kind of get thrown around, especially right now with the way that alternate arts have kind of taken off. If waifus or if full art supporters are even investable, right? We talk about investing. We talk about putting money into cards and then hoping to get something back. I don't really like using the term investing because this is a kind of a collector hobby, kind of a competitive hobby. It's something that you should enjoy, but at the same time, you definitely don't want to spend more money on your hobby and not get anything back from it when and if you decide to one day leave. And I know a lot of people say, well, I'm never going to leave Pokemon, but let's face it, sometimes life gets in the way. Life happens. Things happen. I never thought I'd sell off my collection. I had to do it multiple times. Once when I got married, once when I bought my first house, I had to sell those collections because that money needed to be better spent. I thought I could always get that stuff back. So it's important to spend your money wisely. And we had this era, this blip of time during the pandemic where a lot of these full art supporters skyrocketed like crazy and then they came back to earth. Now they're starting to kind of take off a little bit. And we're going to look at the top, I think it's 17. We're looking at all the full art supporters that are worth over $50 right now, kind of see how they've been performing over the past year. So I'm going to flip you guys around real quickly so you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to start out with Lily. Not a whole lot of changes as far as the gap goes. This is going to be a year worth of data that we're going to be looking at. So you can see for Lily, for example, we're going back to October of 2021, now being at the end of October of 2022. And you can see for the most part, not a huge difference. So you're looking at about 10% of a difference between the low and the high. And the low point, it actually hit very recently. So about August of 2022 before kind of jumping back up where it's sitting at 246.79. Still a little bit off of its one-year high, which it hit in May of 2022, where it hit 248.22 and then kind of dropped way down there to that one-year low of 221.60 before starting to kind of climb back in. So a lot of these full art supporters very stagnant right now. And if you look at something like Skyla, which is the second most expensive full art supporter, well off of its one-year high. Its one-year high was hit in October of 2021, 244.98. Now there has been multiple printings of Skyla. This is actually the original one. This is from Boundaries Crossed. We had a couple more. One from I think it was Break Point, and then we had another one recently in Shining Fates, right? Another one recently in Shining Fates. So 244.98 was its high point, which it hit in October of 2021. Kind of tanked a little bit after that, right around the end of 2021, when a lot of other sets, Pokemon just in general, was way down because of the amount of reprints that came out. Then in January, it started climbing back a little bit, but now a little bit consistently dropping. So you can see over the last few months, it's kind of hovered right around that 168 mark. It's sitting at 168.22 right now. Then we've got Lucia, which is kind of different than the first two that we've looked at because it's gradually been gaining and gaining and gaining. You can see its high point right now. It's at a 1 year high of 147.33, but without any blips over the past year. So 116.80 was its low point, its 1 year low, which it hit in October of 2021. This was from Celestial Storm, and it's just really consistently started to rise over the last couple months, really started to take off, where it's gained about 20% over the past couple months, just during summer, end of summer, sitting at 147.33 currently, which is a 1 year high for that card. Then we've got Rosa. Well, Rosa has actually gone down and trended fairly consistently over the past 5 months or so after taking a big hit at the end of 2021. It was at one time 137.74. That was the end of December 2021 before it dropped. You can see in May of 2022 it hit a 1 year low of 113.53. Now it's gained a little bit of that back. It's changed about 20% over the past year, sitting at 121.04. So right in between its 1 year high and 1 year low, but still well off, about $16 off of its 1 year high where it was in October of 2021. Then we've got Chorus, which is doing really well. Part of the reason Chorus is doing so well is because of that GLC, because of the Gym Leader Challenge, that format, which is specific to a lot of competitive players who enjoy playing it. We'll see if anything happens where it gets actually sanctioned and points actually start accruing for it, becomes an actual official tournament or format or anything like that as we move forward. But Chorus, a staple in that format. So a lot of Chorus cards going up, even the regular art that you see from the plasma sets, really starting to gain some ground. 116.65 is this 1 year high, which is where it's sitting at right now, but you can see how consistently it was low, kind of around that $40-$45 mark, right around October of 2021, all the way up until about May of 2022 before it really started taking off. So over the past 4 months or so, it's really blown up. 46.32 was its 1 year low, and as you can see, that is a huge jump over the past 5 months or so. Then we've got Professor Juniper, which saw a huge drop and gain kind of over the span of just the last couple months. So in January of 2022, it was hovering right around that $100 mark before dropping all the way down slowly, steadily, consistently falling. 85.52 is where it hit in July, and then kind of overnight it blew up where it hit about 110, and now it's kind of hovering just above that, sitting at a 1 year high right now of 113.74 and kind of gaining. This is from, what is this, Plasma Blast? I always mess up the 3 plasma sets. I think this is Plasma Blast or Plasma, maybe it's Plasma Storm, Plasma Free. It's one of those 3. Then we've got Bianca, which is also from Boundaries Cross. This is another card that has kind of fallen off a little bit from where it was a year ago. We talk about these full art supporters. They gained a lot of ground really quickly where they got bought out. There were Discord groups that were specializing in just buying out cards. Reddit that was just specializing in buying out cards that was getting pumped and dumped by a lot of content creators, which is something that a lot of people were worried about. And a lot of these full art supporters coming back down to earth a little bit. Now we're seeing some kind of rise a little bit more naturally, more organically. At one point in time, this was sitting at 132.51. That was in October of 2021 before dropping. In May of 2022, it fell all the way down to a 1 year low of 107.19. It's gained very little back, sitting at 111.67, currently still well off of its 1 year high. Then we've got Cynthia, which has done a really good job over the past couple months, really starting to get pumped a little bit. You can see it's sitting at 102.11. That's a 1 year high for this card. In October of 2021, it was all the way down to $77.28. So it's gained about 30% over the past year, which is really, really strong. But the majority of that has been gained just over the past couple of months. Then we've got Iris. This is, I think this one is Plasma Blast here. This one is from Plasma Blast. This one is sitting at 94.06 currently, starting to trend downward a little bit. In May of 2022, it was at 104.21. That was its 1 year high. Still well above its 1 year low, which it hit in October of 2021 of 79.66. So you can see it gained about 20-25% all the way up to a 1 year high. Now it's trending downwards a little bit, sitting at 94.06 currently. Then we've got Misty's Favor. This one is from Unified Minds. 92.46 is its 1 year high, which it hit in October of 2021 before dropping like a rock real quickly at the beginning of 2022. Stayed fairly consistent until about May, where it started gaining a little bit of that back. And then that's kind of where it settled, where it is right now at 85.36. 35. Then we've got Cynthia and Caitlin, which is doing a really good job over the past couple months. You can see here, kind of like Chorus, it was sitting all the way down at 45.51 as a one-year low. It hit that in about March of 2022, stayed fairly consistent until July, and then just kind of took off, and now it's sitting at 78.68, which is a one-year high for that card, but the majority of its gaining, it's done just over the past couple of months. Then we look at Erica's Hospitality. This one is from Team Up, sitting at $74.15 currently, which is just barely off of its one-year high, which it hit a few weeks ago of $74.40, still well above its one-year low. $53.60 it hit in May of 2022, and this is what we talk about in the past, where we've talked about buying those dips, finding a way to make sure that you can spend your collection dollars at the wisest point. So in May of 2022, it looks like a lot of these full art supporters kind of hit the bottom before starting to take back off a little bit. Lily's Full Force, this is from Cosmic Eclipse. This is a beautiful card. 69.06 is where it's currently sitting. That's a one-year high. So you can see, unlike some of the other ones, which was at a one-year high in October of 2021 and then fell all the way down, this one has rallied back to that point. It's one-year low of 55.30. Again, it hit in May. Not too much of a gap in there. You're only looking at about $14. That's about 20% of a change over the past year, but the majority of that happening from May until obviously now, being that we're almost in November. End is a very interesting one. I remember buying and selling full art ends 5, 6, 7 years ago when expanded was a big thing. You would buy them and sell them for $90 to $100, $115 at some time. So this one is way off of where it was at one point in time several years ago. $66.16 is its high point, which it hit in October of 2021. Not a whole lot of movement. You're looking at about 10% of a change over the past year. $60 is its low point, $60.77, which it hit in July. Gained a little bit of that back, sitting at $63.24. Not a whole lot of movement in this full art card. This is from Noble Victories. Then we've got Sabrina's Suggestion. This one kind of hit a wall in May as well, leveled off, and now it's sitting consistently at that $62 mark. Its low point of $62.26. It hit in July, kind of gained very little of that back, sitting at $62.70 currently, but still well off of its one-year high of $71.73, which it hit in October of 2021. Lusamine has done a really good job. There's two different printings of Lusamine. This is the more preferred one. This is from Ultra Prism. This is sitting at $57.55 currently. Its one-year low of $44.50. It hit in October of 2021. We haven't talked about this card that much because it's done most of its gaining over the past 6 months or so. In May of 2022 is really when it started to shoot up in price a little bit. So it's sitting at $57.55 currently, which is a one-year high, but the majority of its gaining, that 30% that we've seen gained, has been over the past 5 or 6 months. Then we've got Red and Blue. This one is also from Cosmic Eclipse. This is one of my favorite full art supporters just because I love the artwork on it. At one point in time, this was sitting at $56.11. That was in January of 2022. You can see October, November, December, January, it stayed fairly consistent before kind of hitting a wall. And like many other full art supporters, May of 2022 saw the demise, dropped down to $51.02. Again, only about a 10% swing over the past year. Gained a little bit of that back, closer to its one-year high now than its one-year low, sitting at $54.97. Then finally, we've got Zinnia. This is the last full art supporter. Think of all the full art supporters that we've had throughout all time in Pokemon. There's only 17 of them that are sitting above $50, so not too crazy when you think about it. $50.40 is where this Zinnia is currently sitting. This is from Dragon Majesty. Its low point to $44.45. It just recently hit in September of 2022 before jumping back up a little bit. Now it's kind of sitting in between its one-year high and one-year low at $50.40. Its one-year high it hit in October of 2021 at $57.12. But again, not huge differences there. A little bit over 20% over the past year, but it's gained about 10% now over the past month. So it'll be interesting to see how these continue to climb now that things are kind of settled down in the Pokemon space. If we start seeing more organic climbing from some of these older full art supporters that aren't printed as much as some of the more current ones, it'll be really interesting to kind of sit there and watch. I'm sorry so much for not having proper editing equipment. Hopefully tomorrow will be a lot better. Wish me luck because I'm going to have a lot of work ahead of me kind of designing all that spreadsheet again if I can't get that computer to work. So thank you so much for everything, guys. If you do enjoy this kind of content, please leave a like and a comment down below because it goes a really long way spreading the channel, and it does a lot for the algorithm. It helps share the channel, share the videos, do what you can. The quicker we'll get to 100,000 subscribers, the quicker we can do that amazing giveaway. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already, guys. Until next time, peace.